Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how set value, so total set value for a Pokemon set, is the best indicator that we currently have for predicting future booster box prices. If you go back every single era, the top handful of sets, 4 to 5 or so, more often than not, are directly correlated with the total set value. So the higher the set value, the more desirable the cards, and typically the higher the demand for the booster boxes, which raise prices. So I want to compare Scarlet and Violet to Sword and Shield, especially with the recent moves in Sword and Shield. For the record, this is just a thought experiment. It's just for fun. There's going to be a range of prices that these boxes can be as time goes on. And I just want to kind of explore the risk levels that we have based on, previous data across multiple eras. So as you can see, I've kind of built out a chart here for both eras with the release dates, the years since the release, just in a decimal format. We have the current booster box prices, we have the current total set values, and then this percentage is total set value divided by booster box price. This is where things get really interesting when we look at Scarlet and Violet. Our total set values in this era are pretty much the highest across the board that we've ever had in an era. At a rate of 3.6, which is really interesting. Sword and Shield had many stinkers in that set. Even if we remove these 3 sets, which I would consider outliers, the average is still 2.64. So 2.64 times, total set value over booster box price, which is really interesting, which means the cards actually, on average, are more expensive in Scarlet and Violet based on the booster box prices than they are in Sword and Shield. Now, obviously, a lot of these prices corrected. Many of them mooned, Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars at 418. It's crazy. Yeah, these were all previously a little bit undervalued, which is why investors and whales kind of flooded into these boxes. But can't say the same has happened for Scarlet and Violet. I think that's because there's a higher inherent risk given the amount of time that the sets have been released. We only have one set that's over 2 years old at this point. That's SVO1. Paldea Evolved is next month, June 6th. It's currently May 14th at the time of filming. So people are a little bit more apprehensive right now to put their money into Scarlet and Violet, especially because the moves that are being made on Sword and Shield, there's still a lot of value there because these sets are absolutely out of print. What we know is that 2-year window makes it extremely more unlikely that the Pokemon Company will print those sets again. Happens time and time again. Paldea Evolved and Scarlet and Violet base are really the only 2 boxes that fit this. Paldea Evolved is coming up on 2 years. It's already made a jump. I think people are realizing this. The total set value is actually quite high amongst total set values in the era. At a ratio of 3.72, I've even factored in the jump from yesterday to today from going from 280 to 300. It's skyrocketing this week. But I would argue that this is still one of the best investments that you can make, given the set value, given the demand, and given the price of the box. It's actually above the average still, even in this era, which is crazy. What's also crazy is that Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, Twilight Masquerade are all above the average as well. Pretty wild, which means prices will increase quicker for these sets than they will for something like Obsidian Flames or something like Stellar Crown. Which is why it's so important that you invest in sets that have a higher set value and that people like. Surging Sparks is probably the best investment that you can make as far as booster boxes go. Now, it's newer. It's only been out for half a year. And it has a ratio almost twice the size of the average of the set, which is pretty wild. Of course, this is going to get reprinted. We already see boxes coming out on Target that people were able to get. But with that being said, they're just going to get eaten up. And I don't see the total set value dropping more than it already has that much. Of course, it has a lot of room to run. So I think Surging Sparks is a great set, a great investment, but I think Paldea is still even better right now. And just for fun, I took the low of Sword and Shield, compared it to the prices in of the booster boxes in Scarlet and Violet. I also took the high of Chilling Reign, which, by the way, Chilling Reign continues to be incredibly undervalued, in my opinion. It's wild that you can get Astral Radiance for nearly the same price, and Chilling Reign has almost double the set value. I think I'm going to make a video about Chilling Reign just being undervalued. But yeah, I compared the prices to the highs as well. This is my official 3 to 6 year prediction. Again, just for fun, not financial advice. All the things, right? But on the low end, box prices are doubling, nearly 1.64 times. I don't think this is in the next 3 years. I think this will, the prices of the boxes will be significantly higher. I think they'll be closer to this. I do. I think Surging Sparks at this rate will continue to hold a premium, as well as Paldea Evolved, Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, and Twilight Masquerade. And I've actually included an adjustment for how much, because these sets are over the averages of the average sets, I've factored that into this kind of like crude equation that I'm using. Because I believe that these boxes will be the top sets, more than likely, as of right now, the top booster boxes to invest in. Destined Rivals will be number one as time goes on. There's no doubt in my mind that that will be the most expensive box at some point. But yeah, with the adjustments, I believe that there will be a premium on these sets. Paldea Evolved has the benefit of being older, has the benefit of being a little bit more loved, and has the benefit of having a higher total set value. Same for these sets. I think there's a lot of value right now in Paradox Rift, Temporal, and Twilight, especially Paradox. It's a year and a half, or it's a little bit closer to that 2 years. So yeah, the numbers for Surging, I think, will be adjusted with a reprint. It's only a half a year old, still has a lot of time, but something like Paldea, where we are about to be at 2 years, and those odds start going down. We've seen the Pokemon Center, or the Pokemon Company, move away from booster boxes after those kind of first few waves, and they start printing things like booster bundles. They might make more ETBs just to get more product out. So, just food for thought. I think everything can be taken with a grain of salt, but there is no better indicator of booster box value than total set value, and that's a fact. So when making investment decisions on which booster boxes to actually invest in, obviously you want to like the set, you want to like the cards, you want to like what you're investing in, but from a financial perspective, from a risk tolerance perspective, you're going to have a lot better of a time investing in Paldea Evolved over something like Obsidian Flames. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. If you like data-driven videos like this, or maybe have some suggestions as to what my thoughts are on some other sets. I'm thinking about doing a special set comparison too. Let me know, and if you like the video, maybe consider liking it. Totally cool if you don't want to, all good. But yeah, thanks for your time, and let's see what happens these next few weeks. It'll be interesting. Later.